Okay, so if we're in a small airplane and we are navigating with reference to magnetic north, and pilots do this, we are told to always go by what the magnetic compass says, and we set our gyro instruments accordingly to the magnetic instruments. But for all practical purposes, let's just forget about our gyro instruments, and we're going to navigate strictly by compass. Okay, so if we're going west, okay, and our magnetic needle is pointing north, okay, towards this, the further west we go, the more that needle is going to be drawn back behind us to keep pointing it north. Does that make sense so far?
So far, so good.
Yes.
Okay, so far so good. So in order to keep that needle straight up on north, we're going to have to compensate our plane just slightly by turning a little bit to the right so that it brings that needle back on pointing to north. Okay, so far so good. All right, so that's exactly what I'm saying is if we keep doing that all the way around this circle down here, and we keep compensating for that north declination, we fly a little bit, north declination, what we're going to do is we're going to wind up flying around in a circle around the North Pole because we're always vectoring to that magnetic North Pole, okay? And this is the way pilots fly. So whenever you make a journey,
they're vectoring towards the deception of the globe as opposed to vectoring to get any sort of gain in or loss in distance.
Or even not deception, even without deception of the globe, they're still vectoring to the magnetic lines that are emanated from the north.
Sure, but those magnetic lines are what they curve around a globe to convince us we live on a globe.
Ah, well.
Right. So here's the deal. So from north, we have these magnetic lines of force splaying out in all different directions. And we verified this with mainstream sources as well as star maps. I mean, you guys know how we came across this information. We fine-tune it with stated magnetic declinations from like Jeppesen maps, which are air navigation maps, things that every pilot uses, yada, yada, yada. So, but here's the deal. Okay, where are the shortcuts then, you ask? Okay, well, if all pilots are flying on these magnetic lines of force to get somewhere, say, for example, they want to get over here to this position by Ushuaia or South America, which is the upper left-hand corner, and I'm sorry, again, you guys can't really see this well, but so it's up here. So what they're going to do is they're going to basically take one of these paths that is a curved line, okay? So you have this curved line that goes up to this point down here by Ushuaia, okay? So what we've done is we've added a whole lot of extra mileage on by following the contour of that magnetic field. So where's the shortcut? Well, the shortcut's simple. We simply vector across them. We dead reckon across them. And you know, that was really a bad example to use. Let's go from the top left to the top right, okay? So rather than following the magnetic lines of force, which would go up towards the North Pole, arc up and then come back down, if we simply vector straight across, directly across from this point to this point without following any magnetic lines of force, this is a technique called dead reckoning. Okay.
So is this using gyroscopics in order to keep a straight line?
This would be the only way it could be done, because otherwise you're going to get lost. So yes, we trust the gyroscope in this position. We set a relative direction, which would be east in this case, and on the gyro, and as we go east, the magnetic is going to decline. The magnetic compass is going to show us deviating further and further and further away from east. Why? Because it's in reference to the North Pole. But if you dead reckon straight across, you are eliminating all of this extra traffic, this extra area that you have to navigate across. You are dead reckoning straight across from one point to another, and as we all know, the shortest distance between 2 points is straight across. Whereas in the piloting world, all pilots are taught to go by magnetic north, and there's a reason for that, because that way at least we always have a reference to north, and we're not going to get lost. And this was long before we had the advantage of any gyroscopic type of navigation, okay? But today, we have the advantage of having gyroscopic navigation. Now, pilots, like I said, are taught always to calibrate the gyroscopes to the compass, which means that, yes, the gyro is going to be accurate for a little while, but as soon as the magnetic compass goes off, then you have to recalibrate the gyro. But now what you're doing is you're flying both by the magnetic compass and the gyro, and you're taking a arced or a more curved route to your destination. And as we know, a curved route is not a shortcut. The shortcut is the shortest distance between two places, and it is straight across. Therefore, we dead reckon across the magnetic lines of force. Bada bing, there is our shortcut on the flat Earth map.